Well, and here we go again. Another episode of, hang on, my camera's falling down. Let me sort the camera out. Right, I did edit this on my phone, but let's sort this out. I did this on my phone, but I connected up to my new laptop and I've got to open the phone to do it. Oh, don't. Right. Anyway, 2007. Flash Gordon. Welcome to another episode of Could This Have Been a Classic? Flash Gordon 2007. Where do you start with this shit? I'm sorry, I know it's a bad way to go, but Flash Gordon 2007. I got really excited for this. I've watched most of it. I ended up jumping through quite a lot of it, and let's just turn that down. Right, here we go. So here we go. I'll leave it on in the background. Flash Gordon, right. Sorry about all that. This is a dire show, and there's nothing in this. I'm going to say this isn't a classic, right? Flash Gordon, it's like his dad creates a portal, has an accident, him and Zarkov, who's his assistant, they got that wrong. They've made Zarkov a cellar dweller guy that never goes out and has a life. Not having that. Gina Holden as Dale is Gina Holden's a great actress anyway. She's very Lois Lane, and then you've got Flash, Mr. Cardboard, I can't act. I mean, he's probably a really nice guy in real life, but he can't act for shit, right? And then you've got Enkel, the creepy assistant of Ming the Merciless, who's called the Benevolent Father. There's no bloody rocket ships in it. You get one or two, but there's no... When you see beginning at credits like it's on now, you see all these planets and all this going on. So you've got like the sliders effect through the vortex, right? And then you get 15 episodes where Flash lives at home with his mum. Flash is perfect at everything. He's a marathon runner, and he's just an all-out nice dude who's been brought up in the right way. But they keep popping home, and aliens are being sent through and all this. And you know, it just gets bloody ridiculous. So we go through like this in every episode for at least 10 to 15 episodes. Then we meet Voltan's people, the bird people, but they're called the Dactyls. These are a load of fellas running around with blankets on doing bird noises. And I mean, and episode 3 is being voted one of the worst. Episode 3 is just not even worth talking about. So, and then you bring in the emotional attachment. Dale's engaged to this police officer, and he's jealous of Flash. And it all ends up in this sort of crisis where they all end up on Mungo, and Flash starts liberating these tribes of people. I mean, you come across magic and all the usual stuff. The CGI is terrible. You see, Ming conquered the planet because there was some problem, and he holds all the source water. So it's like a water baron, he keeps them all down. And it gets ridiculous. It gets worse. Now, the Ming guy, you could imagine him standing for government. He's very media savvy and that. And he's all right, the guy that plays him, but he's not Ming. To me, this is a film. This is like the TV series of Mario Brothers. It is just like that awful film they made years ago. This is not the Flash Gordon I know. It's a bloody insult to Flash Gordon. So we're going along in like 16 episodes in from pilot episodes at rest. Stories have been took from other sci-fi and said and just used them. And they didn't even bother to spend the money to create a decent looking Mungo. You get really bad CGI effects. But this is of its time. Do you know what I mean? It really is of its time. Now there is one saving grace for this. When Flash is like popping back home for his tea and going back to Mungo to undo all the nasty stuff Ming's up to, you know, and then there's prophets and all this, and Ming said the father will fall and a new world will rise, and he's all paranoid. Now when he starts getting paranoid, Ming, he starts coming into his own, and he ain't got a problem about offing certain people. He's a nasty piece of work, and you saw by episode 18 to 22, it's not that bad. I cannot believe I've said it. It's watchable. So you get into the old liberation thing and about that Ming has got a deviant child who's the brother of Aura, because the deviants are an outcast race on Mungo. So guess what happens? He leads the revolution with the rest of them. Oh yeah, Baron's in it for a couple of episodes. I don't know what happened to him. I don't really care. That was Steve, what is it, second in command of Andromeda. I forgot his name, the actor. And he played that Celt God in Stargate. He's on it, he's Prince Baron, waste of time, forget about him. He's actually meant to be ruler of Mungo and his family. Now, these countries are weird nations like Phrygia and all this. They're all in there, but they've completely stuffed it all up. But the last 3 to 4 episodes aren't too bad. It livens up. It's like all set on Mungo and it's Flash leading revolution. Well, he comes out with loads of cheesy lines. Gail's boyfriend dies because Ming does something to him to make him evil, to betray them all. So they wrote him out. I think they wanted to get some complications in there, Flash and Dale. And everybody on Mungo's very good looking except Senkel, who's like half deviant but a scientific genius. But he's already, everybody's plotting against Ming. And then Ming makes this deal with Queen Aura. Remember her from Flash Goes to Mars? Well, she gives him this amulet thing. Anyway, there's a big revolution. And we get there, the downfall of Ming, everybody rises up. Flash turns up, has a big punch up with him. You know, and and then Ming stands trial. Flash can't get home because as he's trying to get home, his father and mother get home. Oh yeah, they take mother over in Ivy. She hasn't seen her husband for 15 years. So they all think he's dead because he opened portal and then he went across and Ming's had him in cellar, you know, tied up just for 15 years. Don't ask why. Right, so all this is going on. So Ming goes to trial because Queen Aura gave him this amulet. And he gets gassed or whatever they do on Mungo. And suddenly, I think he's transferred, he transferred his whole body into this amulet. So he's not dead. That's for season 2. When obviously he's got supporters and they will bring him back. Now this series is at least 98% shit. And it really is terrible. And how they could insult an icon like Flash Gordon is beyond me. I'm a massive fan of Flash Gordon. If you're going to do it properly. Look, Xena and Hercules, they created that other world of that other time, didn't they? It worked. Do you know what I mean? It just so worked really well. I mean, there isn't even any bloody rocket ships. It ends up that Mungo's in another dimension. Then we get the connection between us and Earth. And then there's something called the IMAX, which is inside the Timex watch, which has got the DNA of the universe. Because every time they travel, they could destroy the universe. And it just gets worse. I mean, every character that's been bad in it suddenly is an ally of Flash and turns on Ming. But when the guy Ming starts getting all paranoid and killing people, and I mean, he's a nasty piece of work. But he's not Ming. This to me is Mario Brothers with a bit of sliders in there. It's from that time when we got a lot of TV. We had a lot of science fiction from 99 to about 2007. A lot of it got cancelled because there was some bad stuff that got made. This is one of the worst science fiction series I've ever seen. I watched it on Sci-Fi and I remember buying it on DVD. It has no impact on you whatsoever. There's nothing memorable about it. Now, the acting cast, like, some of the characters are quite good in this, but it's just so bloody cheesy. You know, I mean, it's not even comical cheese. I mean, they must have had a budget for this, which was just diabolical. Look, if they can create something like Andromeda, you know, Ascendant, you know, Captain Dylan, this is from the same people. Even Mutant X had a certain style and it had an identity. This to me is not Flash Gordon. Now I'm not knocking the cast because I think he could play, if they'd done it right, he might have pulled it off as being Flash. but he just, I don't know, he's just so bloody nice. But Gina Holden and the other female cast member, they're all great. Eric plays Aura, they're all really good. Very strong characters, but Flash, he's a bit cardboard and cheesy. I mean, he's like from another time. It's just, you know, it's not Sam James Jones who were my Flash. Now I'm comparing this. When I watched this, I actually thought I was watching like the backstory of Mario Brothers. You know how they're like going backwards and forwards, and Ming. Ming were like Dennis Hopper's character. You know, I mean, he's trying to be this dark, like spin master. He's got a load of like publicity about him and all this, and they call it benevolent father. Bloody hell, it's Ming the bloody merciless, the conqueror of the universe. So you want to know, don't you? Could Flash Gordon, the TV series, have been a classic? No. No, and this out of the on this journey of could have been a classic. Out of the 12 episodes we've done in this season, Flash, I'm sorry, out of 12 episodes, this has failed. It could never have been a classic. Now, some people will probably like this, and I'm not knocking them. You know, I'm open. People like what they're going to like. But this, I mean, it is awful. It is one of the worst science fiction series I've ever seen. It's terrible. It's just cheesy. You know, but the last 4 hours of it, I'll never get them back, are not that bad. And it does conclude. So it does come under the rules for being could have been a classic. But I'd rather sit and watch the 1930s serials, you know, the Kingsway ones, rather listen to the radio dramas. You know, I'd rather watch Defenders of the Earth or the Flash Gordon cartoon in the 70s. This is not Flash Gordon. This is all-out super dude popping in with his gang of friends and crazy. Him that lives at home at 50 of his parents and never leaves the cellar with all his computers and that, popping over to another dimension of Mongo. I mean, they've even got a layer where, like, they can't tell world. I mean, they can't even tell world about all these things crossing over, trying to kill him and killing loads. I mean, body count's quite. Everybody in this town gets killed by these strange alien beings from Mongo Ming's sending over, because Ming wants to steal what? He steals the lake. You know, and he poisons it to kill some of his own people. I mean, it just gets worse. I mean, it's like, this could have had potential if they'd have put the money where their mouths were. It would have been nice to have seen them gone there in a rocket ship. You know, they just wanted to avoid it. We do get to see one of the Mongo ships, but it's very rare. And CGI is that nasty, smudgy stuff. And does it hold for today? No. So I'm going to say this is definitely not a classic. So that's it, guys. I think this is my last video till the 1st of January. And I had to finish it out over Christmas with Could Have Been a Classic, episode 12. If you've got any sense, you will avoid this series. But the whole series is on YouTube. So give it a go. Let me know your thoughts. And, you know, Merry Christmas, and I will see you on the 1st of January for the Doctor Who live show.